This is your time. For more information, call 954-773-8377. It's time to stop hurting. A 10-part series with Bishop John Wayne Manning.
I love you.
You're locked into Omega Radio, the station of the stars, where Jesus Christ is the star. Your local time, it is now 12:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're locked in right here. It is the 10th day of June. The year is 2024. I want you to stay locked in. Join us on YouTube and Facebook at Omega Radio as we get ready, as we launch and welcome you to Arts in Motion, a proud new sponsor right here on Omega Radio, featuring your very own local artist, Gabriela Esquivel. Keep it locked in and don't touch it out. Don't go anywhere. Connect with us on YouTube and Facebook at Omega Radio.
Welcome to Arts in Motion with artist Gabriela Esquivel. Conéctate todos los lunes a las 12:30 p.m. aquí por Omega Radio.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am artist Gabriela Esquivel, and I welcome all of you to this very first program of Arts in Motion. Arts in Motion is a program where we connect and collaborate with musicians across the globe. I am here with artist and co-host Catherine Shapiro from Creative Space, and today we will be talking to Costa Rican musician Manuel Monestel.
Good afternoon, everybody. Manuel and I started our conversation in the creative space just the other day, and it seems these two have been looking to link up with each other for a while. We are so glad to have Manuel here today, and I cannot wait to continue the conversation.
Hi, Manuel. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
We are very excited to have you back in the program. Like you heard, it's the first show of Arts in Motion. And it's so special that it is with you, a Costa Rican musician and researcher that I admire and respect so much.
Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit about how you started your path in the music.
Well, I come from a very musical family. My father, my grandfather's cousins, and, 3 of every 10 people in my family play music. Not necessarily professionally, but they play music. So I was always surrounded by musicians and always listening to music. When I was in high school, I got my first guitar and I started learning it on my own. In those days, I was learning rock and roll songs in English from England, from the USA, mostly folk rock. That's what I like the best. And when I went to the university, I learned about Latin American music, and I discovered this incredible world of different sounds, different rhythms, different musical expressions that in every country in Latin America. And then finally, I decided to do some research on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica, my country. And I discovered global calypso, calypso limonense, we call it. And that was another incredible world, meeting people like Walter Ferguson, like Cyril Sylvain, Herbert Clinton, and many other great calypsonians from Costa Rica. So based on that, I've been producing records, producing concerts, writing books and articles, traveling different countries in the world, showing our music to other cultures, to other people.
Around the world. Wow. Yeah, it has definitely been a very rewarding journey for you. And I know that you came to the United States to study for maybe a year, was it? I wanted to ask you where in the United States did you live? And also if you did some research about music from the United States when you were here.
Well, actually, I didn't go there to study. I was invited to Cornell University for a semester, and I taught a course, and I was part of a research seminar. Mainly, I was teaching and exchanging experiences with scholars, academics from Cornell and from other universities
Okay.
that were in that group.
So there were not necessarily musicians that you were working with in Cornell.
No. They were mostly from different professions. Many people from humanities, social sciences, and the course I taught had to do with music, because it was like a history of the culture of Latin America by means of songs, and sounds of Latin America. That was the main thing of the course. It was history, but illustrated with songs, and and some of the songs had to do with specific moments in history in Latin America.
Okay, so yeah, the musician in you has always been with you when teaching and when doing research, even though the lessons are not specifically about music.
Well, what I did, I mixed my background of sociology with music. So I ended up doing social research on music. That's what I do.
Yes. Would you define it being as ethnomusicology?
Could be, yeah. I did not study that specifically, but in practice, I've been doing that for many years.
For many years. Perfect. And as a result of that study, you wrote several books, and one of them is Ritmo, Canción, and Identidad, that translates to rhythm, song, and identity. Can you talk a little bit about that book?
Well, that's the result of about 20 years of exchanging with musicians and the people from Limon that are Afro-Caribbean people. So I was learning about the songs and the music, and I was learning about their history, about their background, cultural background. And so 20 years after, I was studying a master's degree in culture in the University of Costa Rica, and I decided to do my master's degree thesis on calypso. So I put together what I have learned and wrote the book. I'm actually, presented the thesis and graduated, and then University UNED, distance university here, decided to publish a book on that research.
So that was your first book ever written?
Yes. Then I was part of a book produced by the Centro Cultural de España. Actually, I coordinated the research. It was 8 researchers. There's 8 academics from different Caribbean countries, and each of them wrote a chapter of the book, and I was coordinating the whole thing. And that's called Enclave Afro-Caribe. That's the second book. And then more recently I wrote Cantar la Vida, Vivir el Canto.
Yes. So talk a little bit about that book, that it is narrating your experiences about music since you're young, right?
Yeah, it's a sort of an autobiographical book, but not just talking about what I've done. I just use my different stages of life and my different experiences to talk about the context. So say I'm talking about when I was 19 years old, and so I talk about what was going on in the world, and the U.S. astronauts landing or mooning in the moon, later on I talk about the wars in Central America and how music played a role in that context. Different ways of showing how a person like me, a musician, was functioning in terms of the context, in terms of the different political, economical, cultural situations that were going on. So that way, whoever reads the book, gets some idea of the history that of Costa Rica and Central America, the history that I had to live, the period of history that was part of my life.
Yes, and that's so interesting because the personal is universal.
Absolutely. In fact, identity is so wrapped up in music. I have a lot of friends of mine who are what they call music therapists. And what they'll do is they take music that the person remembers from the context of their own life, an old favorite song, to get them to open up and to heal part of the hurt that's part of their life. Because people go through a lot that's associated with music.
Exactly. Music is not just sounds, music has a lot of references.
And feeling.
Different aspects of life, history, the inner situation of the person. Some songs and some sounds help people to get through life.
And, Jewish tradition has a really terrific catalog of music that we have used to rebel, to point out, to be, and it sounds like they've done exactly the same thing in Costa Rica. That's what makes music universal. And we are so glad that you're here. And we were so inspired by Gabriela's guest appearance with us that we wanted to keep this conversation going, and it may keep going for quite a bit here. We are always trying to connect people across the world in the creative space, and we are so happy to have Gabriela and you in this wonderful, safe space where we can talk spirituality, music, and the things that make the world go round.
Sure.
As a musician, I was going to share with you that one of the themes that makes me connect with your work is the theme of identity. Since I haven't been in Costa Rica for so long, I left in 2005. And in the present, I am searching for that identity since I am now a Costa Rican American artist because I'm also already a United States citizen. So I wanted to ask you about rhythms, and if you can play some in the guitar, the rhythms that you have studied of Costa Rican music, but also of the United States, like the blues, or which others have you studied as well?
So what do you want me to do with the rhythms?
To give us some examples about different Costa Rican rhythms that you have studied through the years, and also rhythms that you have probably studied or been influenced from the United States.
Okay, we have different ways of playing calypso from Costa Rica. Some could be like this. First time I saw Limon, my heart was beating like a big bass drum. Something in the air brought good feelings to my heart and soul. That's one way of playing calypso. Another way is from I was 10 years old, Lord, I had to work up to now. I like the right to stop work cannot please me at all. That's why in the next creation, I want to be a dog, not a human. That's a song by Linky, one of the calypsonians from Limon. Then we have the other side of the country, Guanacaste, and we have different types of rhythms, ternary rhythms, not binary. And this is a parrandera from Guanacaste. Como no tenía perrito y yo un gato me fui a casa, me eché la cuchara, periquito y el pavo real. Ay, llorar, llorar, ay, llorar mis penas, ay, llorar por ella, ay, llorar mis... That's a parrandera.
That's a parrandera. That is a 6/8 rhythm, right?
6/8, right.
Now,
And then,
I'm curious about something. When would you play these kinds of rhythms? Are they associated a lot with holidays or certain occasions where you would play them in that context?
I play them all the time whenever people ask me to play. And of course, yes, since they are emblematic rhythms of the cultures in Costa Rica, but they are played in specific dates in the year to celebrate things.
Mm-hmm.
May 7th is the National Day of Calypso.
Mm-hmm.
25th of July is the National Day of Guanacaste culture.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're related to celebrations, but in my case, like every time I get a chance to perform, I play those rhythms.
Well, I love your voice. I just have to tell you, it's absolutely
Thank you very much.
amazing.
How about the cumbia? Because growing up in Costa Rica, I remember that in December's, there was a lot of cumbia sounding around at least the capital in San Jose.
Yeah, cumbia is originally from Colombia, but it's spread all over the place in Latin America, and it has mixed with other rhythms too. And in Costa Rica, we have something interesting. It's called swing criollo, which is a mixture of cumbia from Colombia. The music is cumbia, but the way they dance it is the way the old swing dancers did in the USA.
Oh, wow.
So it's very interesting. It's a mixture.
That is definitely a mixture of cultures. I love that.
That's not strange at all. Culture is mixture. You cannot find any pureness in culture. We are mixture.
Mm-hmm.
How do all these rhythms in the USA come out? The pop music that people listen today, it's based on African music styles that came with the slavery time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you receive also influences from the Caribbean. You know, New Orleans received influences from the Caribbean, and probably some old calypso was part of the shaping of jazz. You know, like there's researchers that talk about that.
Oh, definitely.
So we're not pure at all. We're a mixture, and I think we should be proud of that. You know, because the concept of pureness have done a lot of harm to the world in different times.
Yes, we are all
We're
connected, and fusion is all over.
And especially in the United States, our diversity is our strength. That is what I honestly feel. And we should always celebrate the diversity and the people and the beauty that's in every single person who's God's child, really.
right.
When you
That
come right down
diversity
to it.
makes us stronger as humankind.
Correct. And talking about that United States influence, which rhythms have you studied from the United States that you can
But I
play?
did
Some?
not. I didn't really study, and I just played some music when I was younger. Um, I played Dylan. I played Crosby, Stills and Nash. I played
And
Joni
blues?
Mitchell.
Oh, when I was a child, we always listened to Harry Belafonte.
Harry Belafonte. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's he's responsible for making calypso worldwide famous.
Absolutely.
But according to what Gabriela was asking, you know, uh, I use, for example, this song that you know, Alto Vuelo, is based on some arpeggios that I learned from the folk rock musicians. You know, that's how I picked up those ways of picking the guitar and adapted them to my own songs. You know.
Yes. Okay, I see. And do you ever play traditional blues in Costa
Yeah,
Rica?
well, not. Something like that.
Very nice. Do you ever include it in your repertoire, in your concerts, or
Blues,
not much? Mm-hmm.
um, not as plain blues, but you know the influence of blues comes out, like you know, like uh,
Yeah, very nice.
yeah, that's Alfredito, one song I've recorded in the record One Pan Man. Con una cruz a cuestas por el camino, con su Biblia debajo del brazo. Ahí va Alfredito una vez más, como cada domingo, a hacer su propia misa en el potrero. sin que nadie lo vea, solo en el cielo. Something like that.
Oh, wow, you just touched my heart because my grandfather's name was Alfredo.
Uh-huh.
And my brother's name is Alfredo too.
And
So,
it only
how
goes to
wonderful.
show how much music is tied up in family and identity and the things that we try to pass on to everybody who's younger in our youth, than we are. And I just think that is an amazing thing. Thank you so much for joining us and playing for us. It's fabulous.
We're almost done with the program, but what would you say to a young performer of how to become a better performer? What has helped you through the years?
To be loyal to himself or herself, like to believe in, have some self conviction of what he's doing or what she's doing. Follow your musical instinct, not necessarily follow what the commercial, the market of music shows. I know great musicians that are not original because they try to follow and copy and recopy. I don't think that gets you anywhere.
You have to know your own heart and
the
follow that.
Transcendental musicians took chances, took risks, and they decided to be themselves. That's what I can say.
Oh, thank you for those words. Yes. So keeping track and listen to your own voice and be the most authentic you can, or honest, right? At least.
Right.
With ourselves.
Right. It's so easy to sell your soul. That's the myth. Selling your soul to the devil.
Or to follow someone else that you don't.
That can be understood in many ways. Many people sell their soul to the market. That I don't think that's the objective of this beautiful job of being a musician.
Okay, totally understand. How about, since we have these last 2 minutes, we can sing a song together, the one that you mentioned, Alto Vuelo, and you play it and I can have the lyrics here. I would love to.
Okay, so I play the guitar and you sing. That's the idea?
Yes, that's perfect.
Have fun.
¿Quién es esa mujer con voz lejana? ¿Quién es esa mujer color de miel? ¿Quién es esa mujer que cual ventana trasluce en la mañana su querer? Se cruza en mi camino, cual canto peregrino, envuelve en su destino. ¿Quién es esa mujer que en alto vuelo desaparece? Con gotas de rocío en la mañana, con lágrimas al anochecer, con promesas y sueños se derrama, se rompe en fuga como de papel,
que envuelve ese destino
de dulce y agrio vino, que no promete alivio. ¿Quién es esa mujer que en alto vuelo desaparece?
¿Quién es esa mujer
que en alto vuelo desaparece. So we are here every Monday at 12:30 p.m. on Omega Radio 101.9 FM. Today we had this special guest, Manuel Monestel. And please join us every Monday because we will continue bringing more musicians to you and learning from music from across the globe.
Welcome to Arts in Motion with artist Gabriela Esquivel. Conéctate todos los lunes a las 12:30 p.m. aquí por Omega Radio.
Omega Church and Omega Radio celebrate 20 years in ministry. We are stronger together. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody there's going to be food.